save me some.
Hello, my friends. How you doing today? I am doing well. And this is my special Christmas episode where I give you recommendations on Christmas movies that you should be watching during the Christmas season. I'll tell you the reasons why. I'll tell you the nostalgic value of them. I'll tell you the moralic value, moral value that I get from them, and why I watch them every year. I mean, these are every year. This is an every year thing. I will tell you that Home Alone is not here. I did not put Home Alone here. I do recommend Home Alone. You should watch Home Alone every Christmas. Yes, that's a must. But mine comes in a stupid paint can, and I didn't feel like digging out the paint can yet. Okay, it's still under a bunch of pile of discs over there. And in order for me to get to that, I got to pick up the box set of the Wonder Years. It's a project just to get to the paint can, which holds the Blu-rays that hold the Home Alones. But you listen. They're also on the streaming channels. You streaming people, and if you have the DVD, I have the DVDs. I'll probably just grab the DVDs without going through the whole paint can situation. But anyway, I digress. So these are the Christmas movies that I watch. Hey, maybe you're sitting here tonight and you're like, listen, I don't know what to watch. What is a good Christmas movie for me to? It's the Christmas season. What's a good Christmas movie for you to watch? Now, most of these things are on your streaming channels, but if they're not, they're what sucks is I'm gonna give you another recommendation. Buy your Christmas movies after Christmas. Like buy them like during the summer. That's what I do. I buy my Christmas movies during the summer because the prices are cheap. Nobody's buying Christmas movies during the summer except I think me. So I'm able to get my Christmas Blu-rays and 4Ks and DVDs and all stuff like that real cheap during the summer because nobody's even thinking about that. So I recommend you, if you don't have these titles and you want to get them, don't buy them now. Okay, I was just gonna say pick them up, buy them, but don't buy them now because they're jacking the price. It's because it's Christmas, so they're jacking the price. Listen, everything be about the money. Okay, Christmas has lost something. Okay, I'm not gonna make this a big downer on you guys and everything. I know. Listen, if you are feeling a little odd this Christmas, I am. I don't know about you, but 2025 has been the crappiest year I've had my entire life. I think it's been the worst year ever. I mean, I lost my job, got no money coming in. Don't even know if I'm gonna have a tree this year. It's been a little bit of a downer. Okay, I'm gonna keep this positive. But I gotta tell you, in my world over here, I just can't seem to get it together. I had a couple of mental breakdown issues, problems with work. There's a lot of real bad things have happened this year, which is odd because it's making me appreciate Christmas that much more. If that makes sense. Like I'm kind of by. So Christmas Day and my birthday are the same day. Okay, I was born on December 25th. I've been getting a shaft for years. Okay, for years, like Christmas and my birthday on the same day. That's nothing special for me, right? Because it's the same day. So everybody be celebrating the same day as my birthday. So I've kind of always gotten the shaft. I ain't complaining about that. I really don't care about that. But the deal is that it's supposed to be a special day for everybody. And I think that due to the years and years of presents and making it all like materialistic and money wise and this that, it's kind of lost something. It's lost some kind of value in this world. And I got to tell you, these movies that I watch every year, nothing means more to me than sitting down with my wife with the heat on, and thank God the heat is on in the house, okay? And it hasn't been shut off because, listen, as a child, the heat got shut off many times when I was a kid. And the electricity got shut off many times when I was a kid. So when I am able to turn the heat on in my house and the heat is working, I'm feeling very thankful. I think Christmas should be about being thankful for stuff, okay? And even though I don't have a lot going on this year, like this, like literally, like I can't afford presents this year. I don't even know if I can afford a tree this year. I have had a real Christmas tree my entire life. That's kind of been like a thing. It's like a staple in my world because it's the smell of Christmas. It's the hunt for the tree. It's the whole Christmas story experience, and it means a lot to me. Like I don't care how much but the problem is that trees used to cost like $20 back in the day, and now they're like $120. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to get a halfway decent tree, you got to pay over $100 for a tree to throw away the day after Christmas, which I think is absolutely crazy. But in order to have that you had that feeling as taking your kids to the lot and picking up the tree and showing them the tree, and then you put the tree on top of the car, you strap the tree down, you take the tree home, you put the tree in the stand, the tree has to fall overnight, you get that smell of the tree, or you walk in and you leave the house, come back in the house, you get that smell of Christmas, like that whole December into January, because I usually take the tree down after New Year's. It's like a whole thing, but I don't know if there's gonna be a tree this year. And I got a message from my daughter. Oh, somebody's giving away a fake tree. I'm like, listen, I think when the day comes when I have to go purchase a fake tree, I've given up on life. Okay, I'm sorry, but listen, I'm gonna be 50 years old. If I've had a real tree for 50 years, and then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I think I'm fine with a fake tree. I don't, the whole going out to get a tree and the feeling of getting a tree and everything is just gone. I don't know. It's like a tradition. You know what I mean? And I feel like if I'm breaking tradition, I said I remember a couple of years ago, I was struggling. This was actually about maybe 5, 6 years ago. Struggling, didn't know if I was gonna be able to get a tree. I actually drove around with a saw in the back seat of my car for the longest time, driving around and just looking for a tree. Like I was ready to go and saw down my own tree. I didn't care if it was in your yard. I didn't care if it was in the woods. I was scouting for trees, and I was like, I am like Clark Griswold. I am very persistent. I am going to get a real tree. Like even this year, I have no idea how I'm going to get a real tree this year, but I'm going to get a real tree this year. But I got to tell you, the first thing what we do is we start off with our Christmas movies, okay? And nothing means more than to sit down with the wife and be able to turn on a heat. And we have that thankful feeling of the heat. And we got when I turn on my TV, I already have the program and screensaver for the crackling fire. You know what I mean? So I got that fake crackling fire going on. And then we pick out a movie, we sit down, we watch a movie together. Now, back in the day, we used to be with the kids, but now the kids ain't here no more. Now we got the grandkids, but sometimes my grandkids come over, they want to watch the same thing over and over again. Especially my granddaughter, she wants to watch the same movie over and over again. Kind of like my kids. My kids were big on that too. It's like, I want to watch the same movie over and over again. I'm like, listen, let's try something new. It's Christmas time. Let's try a new Christmas movie. Maybe it'll be a new Christmas favorite. So maybe I'm going to show you guys your new Christmas favorite. So every year since I was a kid, I started my Christmas year with the best Christmas pageant ever. I did a whole video about it and how they released this remake last year, and I took my whole family to go see it. So this is the opening of my Christmas, the best Christmas pageant ever. Now I will tell you that this one actually is only like $10 on eBay. You can still pick it up over there. But actually, it might have actually gone up. I might be wrong because I think I went on there to go see if I get a backup copy of this because I was like, the one little issue about sometimes making these YouTube videos, when I make a YouTube video, sometimes you guys actually listen, which is great. But then when I go to buy something, I'm like, whoa. What was once $9 is now $20 or $25, I guess, because I said something that triggered an eBay seller to be like, ooh, well, hey, if you're making videos about it, it's time for me to start flipping this thing for a bigger price. Merry Christmas to you. Okay, Grinch. So anyway, yeah, this is how I open my Christmas. Best Christmas pageant ever. Story about these little hooligan kids. Very simple. I'm gonna go really fast through the little storylines here. Little hooligan kids, okay? They be bullying the kids bullying the local regular kids and everything, and the regular kid gets fed up. He's like, listen, I get all the cake and pastries and stuff over at the church, and all of a sudden the hooligan kids are going to church, and they're not just like going to church. They're like robbing money from the collection basket. They're smoking cigars in the bathroom. They're stealing the wine from the priest and drinking it. But they're gonna have a Christmas pageant, which is the nativity story about Jesus and the wise men, and they want to be part of the Christmas pageant, and they want to be the stars of the Christmas pageant. So they start threatening all of the regulars, okay? And before you know it, they are now the stars of the Christmas pageant. And it's got some twists and turns, and it's got this awesome, warm, happy ending at the end. And it just opens up Christmas for me, okay? And it's a great, I'll be throwing these over there, so don't worry. They're all going on the bed. They're all being safe. If you hear a couple of clings or whatever, don't worry about it. Nothing going to get broken. I take very good care of my stuff. So I'm not really, that opens Christmas. And then the rest of these are not in any apparent order, okay? It's just they have to be watched at Christmas time. They have to be. Some for moral value, okay? Because I really think they're important. And if you are a parent, I have a pile right here on this. I got a pile right here, okay, on the right of my moral value ones. And I got a pile all over the place of my it's Christmas time. Let's watch these. Now, I do want to throw this right here. Like, literally throw it out. Comment below. I hate this movie. I'm sorry. You know what? I bought this. This is the Blu-ray one. I didn't buy the 4K. I've never liked this movie. Never liked it. Okay, this Polar Express. Okay, the Polar Express. I was a preschool teacher for 14 years. For 14 years, for some reason, we had Polar Express Day. And we would make all the children sit down and watch the Polar Express, and we would have hot cocoa and cookies, okay, or something like that, 14 years. And I will tell you, little children from 1 to 5, okay, they don't like to watch this movie. Okay, I don't listen. I want you to comment below. I hate this movie. That CGI Tom Hanks freaks me the hell out. Okay, the only reason why I wanted to break this out is because I was like, am I the only one that feels this way about the Polar Express? I mean, I know it's been like a big thing for like so long, but I'm like, why? Okay, I don't understand why. I don't understand. I can't. Sometimes I can't even make it through the movie. Like when I used to do the preschool class and everything like that, I'd volunteer to stand up and watch the kids, so I didn't have to watch the movie because the dance scene, hot cocoa, yeah, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get creepy Tom Hanks and the creepy kids and the creepy kids on top of the hobos on top of the train. Just strange. I don't know. Maybe you gotta be like smoking something or whatever to really enjoy this or whatever. I did buy it because it's a Christmas classic and I am a collector. But I mean, I did not splurge for the 4K because I was like, I don't care. The only reason why I bought the Blu-ray, I did have the DVD and I bought the Blu-ray because the DVD, the lips were out of sync. Like everything was like out of sync. And the volume was really low on the DVD. If you guys own the DVD, you can comment below on that one and tell me that DVD was a piece of garbage. But I was like, I'll buy this. I thought maybe one of my kids actually would watch it every once in a while, but never would they say, "Hey, I want to watch the Polar Express." So I don't know. I just figured I'd put that over there just to say I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Please comment below if you understand. If you understand, if this is one of those things that you're like, I can't make it through Christmas without watching crazy CGI Tom Hanks and that crazy guy from Grease voice kid and the little girl and the little boy and the hobo on top of the thing. Listen, creepy. Creepy. Okay, that's like a horror movie. Okay, I don't know. I don't get it. Next one I pulled is my complete Franken slash Bass. I hope I said that right. It could be bass, BASS. Christmas collection. Okay, this was special because this is the 18 includes 18 holiday favorites, including Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'm just gonna give you the ones that I actually watch. I'm gonna get rid of. I don't watch Cricket on the hearth or whatever. I've never even watched that. The Little Drummer Boy I don't watch. Frosty the Snowman. Santa Claus Coming to Town. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. The Year Without a Santa Claus. The First Christmas. I never watched that one. Frosty's Winter Wonderland. I never watched that one either. Rudolph Shiny New Year's. That's one. Little Drummer Boy Book 2. Wow, there was a sequel. I never watched one. I watched 2. Nesta the Long-Eared Donkey. I don't watch that one either. What's that one? The Stingiest Man in Town? No, never watched that one. Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. Jack Frost, nope. Pinocchio's Christmas, nope. Leprechaun's Christmas Gold, nope. And The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus, nope. Okay, so yeah, I mean I watch Rudolph and Frosty, okay, and I watch the one with Heat Miser and the cold guy there. Heat Miser and his brother there, Mr. Ice, whatever. I'm Mr. White Christmas. That one there. Yeah, those are fun. Those are fun to watch with the kids. Okay, so you want to pull those things. And plus, they're very nostalgic. Okay, those are the ones that used to come on Channel 6. You remember this? Channel 6, back when you were a kid, and you watched them. Okay, you watched them every year, and you looked forward to them as a kid every year. So for nostalgic reasons, I still put those on. Like I still enjoy watching Frosty the Snowman, and I still enjoy watching Frosty's not Frosty, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and stuff like that. Those are fun. Those are fun to watch. Next one is Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. Yes. Hey, ain't no hole in the wash tub. Hey, listen, this is one of those moralic value ones there. I'm gonna call it moralic. Could be it might be sounding like moronic, but I don't even think moralic is a word. I'm gonna use it for the Christmas season. These are the ones with moral value. Okay, this one I feel has moral value. I feel like you watch this thing, it's like dad's dead. Okay, so it's just Ma and Emmett. Okay, and they living together. And Mom just barely making ends meet. She's using the wash tub and she's doing the laundry for the local people over there at the river. And and Emmett wants to get her a piano for Christmas. He could lease one or whatever, and she wants to get him his guitar with his mother of pearl inlay. And in order for her to do that, she got to sell Emmett's tool chest, which that's how he makes his money. And in order for Emmett to make his money, he's gonna put a hole in the wash tub to make a wash tub bass, so that way he can start his jug band, so he could win the contest, so he can buy mom that piano. And I mean, it's got a little twist at the end. It's got some bad guys in it. It's like it's a Muppet thing there. But I will tell you, the only thing that kind of messed me up throughout the years is that trying to find the one I watched when I was a child. Now you big Henson fans, you can comment below on this one there. This one, it says with special appearance by Kermit the Frog. Now I know there's been some versions that were released when Kermit actually did an opening, and he told a story about what was going to happen to Emmett, and then all of a sudden the Emmett Nada story starts. I can't tell you. I have this on DVD a couple times, and I have this one. I don't think I have that version. I don't even know if they ever released that version of the one with like Kermit the Frog introducing it, and then unless I'm holding it in my hand and I'm like being a little bit stupid right now. But yeah, there was different versions of Emmett Nada, but Emmett Jugman Christmas, I've been watching since I was a kid. I don't know if it's something that you've never even heard of before, but you should definitely watch it. Okay, if you're into that Muppet stuff and you're into that, stop action motion type thing, there, a lot of puppets, a lot of puppet stuff going on. But it also has like when they get up and running and stuff, you can see the strings and everything like that. And know what's cool is that, well, cool but not cool. The DVD is actually probably better to watch than the Blu-ray, because you can't really see the strings as much on the DVD as you can on the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is very, very clear, so you can see a lot of the stuff. But this was it's got a good story. I mean, hey, listen, the mother and father, the father's dead. The father passed away, and every year Emmett goes and gets the Christmas branch. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I can't afford a tree this year, I'm gonna go cut down the Christmas branch. I'm gonna get the Christmas branch, and I'm gonna be like Emmett. I'm like, remember, Pa used to go, and you used to go with the saw, and you used to go cut down a tree, but then you come back just with the Christmas branch, and you'd be like, because I didn't cut down that tree and I just brought home the branch, the tree will still be alive for 100 years. That might be me this year. That may very, we might be putting the Christmas branch on the table. That might be a thing. I'm not sure. I'm contemplating it. Next one is one of my wife's favorites. She turned me on to it, so we've been watching every single year because she loves it. Okay, and then for the longest time I was like opposed to it, but then all of a sudden I was like, this isn't that bad, and now it's become one of those regular Christmas movies for us, and that's Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis with Christmas with the Cranks. Very, very simple. The baby has flown the nest, and they're fed up with Christmas. They're fed up with the money spending at Christmas time, the buying of the tree, the spending money on this, the spending money on that, the buying the gifts, the throwing the parties. They're fed up with Christmas. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna cut their money in half, and they're gonna go on a cruise. But unfortunately, all of a sudden, the daughter's coming back for Christmas, which messes up all of their plans, and it's really good. Actually, my wife turned me on to it. I think it's because I'm not really a big Tim Allen fan. I never really liked that Home Improvement thing there. I liked them in the Santa Claus, but that's pretty much it as far as Tim Allen movies go. And now I like this. Jamie Lee Curtis I've always liked, so we good with Jamie Lee Curtis. But this is actually pretty good, and it has Dan Aykroyd in it, so that's always a plus. But yeah, I gave you the skinny on that one there. I think we're good. Trapped in Paradise. Just let me throw this out there. Where the heck is the Blu-ray release of Trapped in Paradise? So who doesn't love Trapped in Paradise? Now, if you don't know what it's got John Lovitz in it. Okay, it's got Nicolas Cage in it, and it's got Dana Carvey in it, and they are going to rob a bank for Christmas, because people be depositing all their money in their Christmas clubs, and they want to figure out. They figured out that this place has like limited security or whatever, so they rob a bank. Okay, but the problem is they rob the bank, but then there's a big snowstorm, and they can't escape the town of Paradise. They're trapped in Paradise. The place is called Paradise. Paradise, whatever, Pennsylvania or what? I'm not sure. Wherever Paradise, I'm not sure if it's even a real place. But I will tell you that. So what happens is they get stuck there. And the townspeople are so sweet and nice and wonderful and whatever, where it's almost like they go from like, we're ready to rob the place, to where like they almost like they want to give it all back. You know what I mean? It's like they feel guilty about what they've done because the town is so good to them and everybody's been so good to them, and they go through all. This is a really, really good movie, but I have no idea why this did not get a Blu-ray release yet. This one includes the full screen, and that's how old this is. It includes the full screen and a widescreen edition of the movie. This is one of those flipper discs there. One side is widescreen, the other side is full screen. Why it hasn't gotten a Blu-ray release yet? It's good enough for I waited forever for Rat Race to get a Blu-ray release. I don't know what the problem is. This is a good movie. So whatever company who owns this now, this is 20th Century Fox. You guys could put together a Blu-ray by now. Come on, I've been watching this DVD for years and years and years. Let's upgrade. Let's upgrade because it's a great movie. It's a great. I mean, I understand that Nicolas Cage cornered the markets on the directed to DVD and Blu-ray, and you guys are probably a little bit aggravated, but we love it. Okay, it's a good. It's a movie that I love. Okay, my kids love, my family loves. We watch it every year. We love it. So let's upgrade that thing. All right. Let's throw out a Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas. This is the 4K Blu-ray. I'll be watching the Blu-ray, and I also have this on a Blu-ray Steelbook also. So I won't be touching the Steelbook because it's still sealed. I'll be popping the Blu-ray out of this combo pack, and that's what I'll be watching. I'm pretty sure I also have this in the National Lampoon's Vacation box set. So I probably will go with the box set before I even open up this thing either. This one might even be sealed. I don't know. I got like 3 copies of. Well, counting the DVD, I got 4. I got 4 copies floating around here somewhere of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. But I don't think I have to say too much about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I mean, if you know what it is, we got Clark Griswold now, and it's Christmas time. He wants to invite the whole family over for Christmas, and everything just goes wrong. Okay, listen. This movie's been around for years. I'm pretty sure everybody in the world has seen Christmas Vacation. I'm not gonna get into a lot of detail with that, but that's a Christmas must. Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Saw this one in the movie theater. Loved it ever since. Matter of fact, maybe about 6 years, 7 years, 8 years back or whatever, Walmart had an exclusive Turbo Man, and me and my wife, I got a video. There's a video of me hunting down that Turbo Man. That thing was hot. I mean, it was hot. You could not find that thing anywhere. It was almost as difficult to find the Turbo Man as it was in this movie. And if you've never seen Jingle All the Way, it's about this father that he's supposed to pick up the Turbo Man doll for his son for Christmas, but he forgets about it, and then it's Christmas Eve, and now he's on the hunt for this, like, the grail toy that you can't find anywhere. You can't buy it anywhere because it's gone from the shelves. And I've had that happen to me. I had that happen to me with a Buzz Lightyear one year with my youngest, my oldest daughter, which was my first daughter and only daughter at the time. And it was Christmas time, and I'm like, Christmas morning. I think it was either Christmas. No, it was Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve morning. I was rushing to every Toys R Us in the area trying to find this Buzz Lightyear for my daughter. I ended up getting a one that it was like a see-through one. I couldn't find the right one. I ended up getting this like see-through one. It didn't even make any sense, and I thought it would make her happy and everything like that. She didn't even care. It was such a fiasco, and it wasn't like one of these things where I waited the last minute. It was just like I believe Toy Story came out around that time, and it was like it didn't even dawn on me that she would even want something like that. And I was just out hunting, and I'm like, I'm gonna get her a Buzz Lightyear. So yeah, this kind of gives me that feeling. And then 6 years ago or 7 years ago, it might have been longer than that, because I remember I was still teaching at the preschools, the first preschool I started teaching at, and me and my wife were like hunting. We were calling people, and they were like, we're only getting 3 per store, or only getting 2 per store. And we finally got a guy that worked in the toy department that said, listen, when I get some in, I'm going to take one, I'm going to hide it on the top shelf. So as soon as it comes in, you know, give me a number, we'll call you, just come in and reach on the top shelf, you'll be able to find it. And that's how we ended up getting the first one. I actually have 2 of them. I ended up, because afterwards they started popping up, and then eventually they ended up on clearance. They ended up on clearance. I think I paid for my first one, I think I paid like $40 or whatever, and the second one I paid like $30, and then before you know it, they were on clearance for like $8 a piece, and I probably should have grabbed a whole bunch for $8 a piece. But I left them on the shelf because I figured there would be more people like me that were out hunting for them also that didn't get them. Okay, I'm not that flipper guy. You know what I mean? The only reason why I bought 2 is because I bought one to take out of the box and one to keep in the box. That's the only reason why. But if I was that flipper guy, I probably should have grabbed the $8 a piece ones, because they had like 4 or 5 of them, and I probably should have been selling them right now. Okay, right this minute I should be selling them and for $100 a piece, and people be paying that much for them because they're watching Jingle All the Way now, and their kids are going, I want a Turbo Man, Daddy. And those scumbag flippers, they're smiling right now. They're like, good thing I wasn't thinking about that one. All right, next one. Deck the Halls. Okay, Deck the Halls, starring Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito. Now, what happens is Danny DeVito is kind of like, he's not happy with his job. He's not happy with life. He's not happy with his thing. But he's like a little bit of a shyster, okay? And Matthew Broderick is like, he's the big man in town. Everybody knows who he is and everything like that. And he's like the Christmas guy. But then all of a sudden, here comes Buddy Hall, Deck the Halls. Buddy Hall, played by Danny DeVito. And he wants his house to be seen from space. He wants people to be able to go on GPS and on their Google Earth, and they want to be able to see his house from space. So he wants to put as much lights on his house that he possibly can, so he can see his house from space. Meanwhile, his next door neighbor is played by Matthew Broderick. He's not too happy about the situation because now we got all this attention going on in his neighborhood. He's messing up the whole Christmas holiday because now all the attention's on him and it's not on Matthew Broderick. So it's kind of like a battle between each other through the whole movie. Really, really good movie. You never heard of it? Definitely should check it out. It is streaming, I think, on either Netflix or Hulu right now. I will tell you that right now because when I was scrolling through my thing the other day, my granddaughter was here. I saw it there. So yeah, Decked Halls, definitely a good one. That's a plus. Okay, they're all staying there. How the Grinch. Sorry, the Grinch. It's not How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The cartoon is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It would be really nice if they would put. They released it so many times. I know there's a new Steelbook this year, whatever. Why can't they put the cartoon as a bonus feature? I mean, the cartoon is literally like 20 minutes long. Okay, maybe. I think it should be a bonus feature on on the Grinch. You know what I mean? Like if you want to watch the cartoon, you put one disc in, you can watch the cartoon, and you can watch the movie if you want to watch the movie. You know, I think that would be a good idea for their future releases. I don't know. It's probably a company thing. This is owned by Universal. I don't know who owns the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but I really like this one. I really thought this was really good. This is a Ron Howard film, okay? And everybody knows the story of the Grinch, okay? The Grinch is the Grinch, okay? He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch, and he's stealing your chimney, and he's taking your roast beast and all that stuff like that. And here comes little Cindy Lou Who's got such a sweet little heart, and he's like, what's wrong with the Grinch? Let me do some research on what's wrong with the Grinch, and I want to help the Grinch out. And then all of a sudden, the Grinch's heart grows 10 times bigger, and it's all about the love, okay? And it's a fun movie. It's just a fun Christmas movie to watch. It's a fun movie to, actually, it's a fun movie to watch all year round. I'm good with this one. Now that Cat in the Hat one that came out after, because they were like, hey, let's make some money off of the whole Dr. Seuss franchise. My kids enjoyed it. I was I don't know, that one. My kids can quote it and they really love that movie. But I gotta tell you right now, I saw the Grinch in a movie theater and I was very excited to see Jim Carrey play the Grinch. And I gotta tell you, he does a fantastic job. As you must know by now, how great he was as the Grinch. In fact, I can't even picture anybody else playing the Grinch besides Jim Carrey at this point in my life. You know what I mean? I have to see it so many times. But yeah, it's what I have to watch every year. Oh, that one hit the floor. All right. I'm gonna skip that one, go to that because that one's the Christmas Eve one into Christmas, so I'll leave that one till for last. Next one is another movie. No Blu-ray release yet. No 4K release yet. What the hell? Okay, what's going on? Hey, Merry Christmas to me. Give me my 4K Blu-ray release of Dennis Leary in The Ref. Yes, listen. If you've seen The Ref, comment below. Now this is 100% a Christmas movie. The deal is that Dennis Leary's does a B&E, okay, breaking and entering. He's robbing one of the rich folks' houses in the area with his partner, and the problem is that the partner, the guy that had the house, he rigged the house so that way he would he gets stuck in, once again, kind of like a Trapped in Paradise. He gets stuck in the town that he's in, and he's forced to have to stay with these. So he ends up hijacking these people, which is played by who's the two guys? It's a guy and a girl, Kevin Spacey and Judy Davis. So he kidnaps his family, and the son is like no dang good. I will throw this out there. This movie is also rated R. This is not a child's movie. This is not a movie for your kids. Okay, it's got some nudity stuff in it. It's got some. This is not a kids movie. Don't go pick this up thinking to watch this with the kiddies, because it's not a kiddies movie. The language. This is Dennis Leary in his prime. This is swearing up a storm, Dennis Leary. So you do not want to watch this with the kids. But the storyline is good and it's funny. This is a funny movie. If you've never seen it, it's funny. So they're waiting for they're kidnapped by Dennis Leary, and he's going to hold up there until after, they're doing random house checks and everything like that. And he poses as their therapist because they're fighting. The husband and wife are fighting through the whole movie, and they're about ready to have a divorce and everything. And his son has some kind of issues. He's got some problems going on too. And it almost, what happens is that the Dennis Leary character almost becomes like their therapist. By the end of the movie, if it wasn't for Dennis Leary, like the family would have been torn apart. The son would have been a mess, and the wife would have been a mess, the husband would have been a mess. But because of this whole ordeal, it ends up bringing them all together for Christmas, and it ends up making things makes sense. It's really good, but it is rated R. So please, once again, this is not one you want to put on with the kids. A lot of f-bombs. There's some nude scene stuff or whatever. Not like nude, like there's photographs. Okay, that's all I gotta say. There's some photographs that you're gonna see that have things that you can see. Anyway, so the ref, yeah, starring Dennis Leary. And then I got a pile here, and I'm gonna share this pile with you because this pile right here is extremely special to me. These are the films that I think that you should, if you haven't, or if you never have, okay, you should sit down with your children or just yourself. Sit down and watch them, and they might make you think a little bit around Christmas time. These are my moral movies. These are the ones that I put on every year, and I'll tell you, usually I'll put on one. The first one I'm going to show you, I'll put on with me and my wife, and me and my wife will watch it together. Usually on Christmas Eve together, and then I adjourn to my room. And I back when my kids were little, it used to be like I'd adjourn to the room and put the kids to sleep, and they'd all go to sleep and everything like that, and I'd be hanging out in the bedroom and I'd be watching my Christmas movie. But it's something that I personally have to watch every year, sometimes multiple times, and it's also something that sometimes I put on during the year in general just to remind me of things. So the first one I want to show you is It's a Wonderful Life. Now, It's a Wonderful Life took me a long time to make it through the entire movie. This is one of them that it's been around forever. I believe this is like a 50s movie or whatever. When this thing come out? Say it over here. Is that 1946? Holy crap! I'm going a little bit blind, but tell me that doesn't say. Yeah, it looks like it says 1946. Wow, I am go. Yeah, it is 46. I am going blind, but 1946, black and white and color. So this one actually is kind of cool. I bought this one because it has the two versions. You can either watch in black and white like it originally was, or you can watch in color. Yeah, this came out 1946. Wow, I can't even. I'm trying to even contemplate that. I can't even. But for years, I tried to watch this movie and it bored me. I was so bored, and it didn't make any sense especially when I was a kid. I didn't understand. So this is not a movie you want to put in with your kids, because they're going to be a little confused. Kind of like Miracle on 34th Street. I don't have that here in front of me. I do own that one, but that's another one I never really watched my kids because it kind of takes a while for them for it to kick in. I mean, maybe not the remake, the one with Matilda, but I don't have that one. I have the OG one. But this is a great story. The deal is that the star of the movie, which is played by James Stewart, he has kind of a rough life, and he goes through a lot of things, but he's like, he wants to leave town and go to college and make something of himself. He's got like all these dreams and all these like fantasy. Kind of reminds me a lot of myself. That's why I think that I kind of, some of this stuff resonates in me, and I'm like kind of like, it's a thinker, because I don't know, when you're like in high school and stuff, you have like all these dreams and like things that you're gonna do in life and everything like that. And then I don't know about you, but being that it's my birthday coming up and Christmas and it's another year gone by, you start to think about where you're at. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, it just didn't turn out the way it did. But the whole deal is that this guy gets so down because so much stuff goes against him that he legitimately starts contemplating doing himself in. That's how I'm going to word it so that I don't get demonetized. But that's how he thinks about it. It's like, if I do myself in, maybe the world would be a better place without me. But then he gets stopped by an angel, okay? And the angel shows him what life would have been like if he didn't exist, how things would have been. So it made this is how this works. This is why I say this is a moral movie. No matter how much messed up you think your life is, and mistakes you've made in your life, whether it be with your kids, your parents, your family, your people you run into in your life, if you weren't here, like things might have been different. Like you might have saved, like a butterfly effect type thing. Like you might have saved somebody's life, like unintentionally. Like you might have been important in somebody's life, like unintentionally. Like you have no idea what you have. Like I was a pre-K teacher, a preschool teacher for 14 years, and I did a lot of phone calls. Yeah, I mean, I was a mandated reporter, so if there was abuse or there was something going on or whatever, I was the one that made the phone calls. Okay, and then I was very together with the parents and everything like that. And there was a lot of, I dealt with a lot of stuff. I had two little people that had seizures that I had to tend to, and people panicked. People panicked and they ran in different directions. And I stood there and I held the child's head so the head wouldn't get hurt. So I knew what to do. It was just like an automatic thing that I did. And so it makes me think about that kind of stuff. It's like sometimes I get really down on myself and I'm like, wow, this like I started this video. I'm like, wow, this is gonna be a tough Christmas. I don't know where my tree's coming from. I got no money. I'm hustling and trying to make $1 here. I can't afford to buy Christmas presents for my family this year. This is gonna be a tough year. But what if I would have gave up? I've had other Christmases like this. I've struggled other Christmases like that, and I'm sure you guys have too. Listen, Christmas time is I've had Christmases where I've spent like literally I'm talking like $4,000 on Christmas. We had toys going all the way around the room, and the thing is I was working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, sometimes double shifts or whatever, in order for my kids to have all of this stuff. Now maybe they don't look back on that and they're not thankful about it. Maybe they don't understand that how much I put into that. And now that I'm struggling now and not getting so much, but the thing is, they're doing better than I am, which I'm happy as a father. I'm proud of them. I'm glad that they're doing better. The ones that have kids, I got one that has kids. The fact that she can afford to be able to put stuff under her tree, maybe she's starting to understand a little bit more about how difficult. I have 4 children. How difficult it was for dad. To put all that stuff under the tree. They wanted bicycles. I wasn't buying 1 bicycle. I was buying 4 bicycles, or I was buying 3 bicycles and a Power Wheels, or I was buying it wasn't 1 dolly, it was 3 dollies, and it wasn't 1 video game system, it was 2 video game systems. So it was difficult for the years that I did things. And I got some Christmases, a lot of people get very depressed. They get very, very down on themselves. They get very, very messed up. And that's kind of what happened in this movie. This guy is like, I've had it. Like nothing is going right. And he's about ready to do what he's got to do. And it's like the angel stops him. He's like, listen, if you got to look back on your life and everything that you've done in your life, and if it wasn't for you, this would have happened and that would have happened and this would have happened and that would have happened. So be thankful, be thankful that listen, if it wasn't for you, the world would not be as good as it is right now. You actually have made an impact on people's lives. You saved lives. You did things that would have totally messed up the whole, it's like a Back to the Future thing. It's almost like, you would have messed up the whole timeline. Things would have been all messed up. So yeah, it took me a little while to watch this, but once you sit down and start watching it, it's enjoyable. I do advise you watching it in color though. I mean, I'm like a very nostalgic person. I love watching stuff like if it's black and white, like Three Stooges or a Marx Brothers. I prefer to watch it in black and white. But I will tell you, the colorized version of this, they really did a decent job, and it does, because it pops so much. It kind of attracts your attention a lot more than the black and white version. If that makes any sense, it's just it's strange because I strongly love black and white. Like, I love Lucy, so I love black and white, and for nostalgic purposes, you should be watching in black and white. But they did such a good job with the colorizing on this thing of a movie that came out in the 40s that the colors are actually kind of eye catching, they very Christmassy. Like the greens are very green and the reds are very red, and you might be able to get your kids to actually sit down and watch this if you watch it in color. I've never tried that. That might be my problem. But yeah, that's what this movie. I know I spent a long time on it, but the moral value movies I think are very important because it's Christmas time, and I think we lose something sometimes with the gifts, and we lose something sometimes. Like Christmas should be about family and being thankful for another year with your family. Like as I'm getting older in age, I'm like thankful just for another Christmas, because one day there's going to be a Christmas where that chair where I sit is going to be empty. And as the kids get older, I'm starting to realize that there's, they only stay for a little while and then they leave, and in my case, sometimes I don't even want to leave the house and go visit, my father, he moved away. I haven't seen him in 18, 19 years or whatever it is, so listen, things happen. So I think the whole meaning of Christmas has gone out the window. Everybody thinks about the gifts. My kids ask me every year, Dad, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? I'm like, I just want you guys to be happy. I want you guys to all come visit and hang out or whatever, open up your gifts, and I want everybody to be happy. And I'll do what I can for you and just be thankful for whatever I can do, especially this year when I'm struggling this bad. There's no help coming for me this year. Okay, there's nobody's saving the day this year. There ain't no church that's gonna be giving me a hand. There ain't gonna be no person that's gonna go and drop money in my Venmo account and help me pay for my Christmas presents. I don't know where my Christmas tree's coming from. I am really in a little bit of a panic this year, but I'm going to sit there and I'm going to not bring them down. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to watch them open up their presents together. They might be a little bit disappointed that Dad don't have stuff for them like he used to have. But I mean, I hope they can look back at the 26 years or 25 years, that dad had. By this age, they know that dad worked really, really hard for 25 years to make sure that they had the most beautiful, biggest Christmases they possibly could. I wanted them to have the things that I didn't have. I wanted them to have that feeling of like love. And we had very strange Christmases. You know what I mean? My mother's very big on listen, you guys, you her big thing is like, oh, you always say you had a rough life, but you had a great Christmas. And yes, we had, listen, I'm not gonna lie, we had a stacked tree. But my father was very good at buying things. Like, he would buy things at like a place called Toy Liquidators. So I didn't have like a regular GI Joe. I had like GI Jip or whatever. You know what I mean? It was like literally. I remember one year I got these guys. They were like guys, and they had metal on the bottom of their feet. And if you put them in a tub, they would like drop to the bottom of the tub because they'd be weighed down. But they were like scuba divers, and they came with like a shock. I had to use my imagination. Listen, I know a lot of children nowadays are lacking imagination, but I had to really use my imagination for the stuff that sometimes I get for Christmas, because he wouldn't buy me like the name brand stuff. He would get me like an off-brand whatever. Like if you had He-Man, I had like Seaman or whatever. You know what I mean? It was like Seaman. I had Seaman. Now listen, listen, but I did get some He-Man. I did have He-Man. I did have Castle Grayskull. I did get that eventually down the road. But Christmas was kind of odd. It was like I'm not ungrateful, and we did have a stacked tree. But there was also different elements. Like there was weird stuff that we did at Christmas. Like there would be an argument every Christmas. My father would get mad every Christmas. He could not stand people to come over our house for Christmas. And he also loved to leave the house on Christmas and go visit people. And that used to drive me absolutely crazy. But the deal is that he used to have people come over the house, but he was always big on claiming poverty. My father was always big on poor me, poor me, poor me, and my mother, oh, poor me, poor me. They all broke all the time. They never had no money. My grandmother lived right across the like, not even a street. It was like right across the we lived like house side by side houses. And I think my father didn't want them to know that they had any money. So literally like every Christmas would come, and before my relatives would come visit, he'd have us hide half of our toys behind my bedroom door. Listen, to this day, I think I get it now that I'm older. But at the time, it was kind of odd, because when you're a kid, you get Christmas presents. You want to show off your Christmas presents. You got your cousins coming over, and you want to play with your cousins with the Christmas presents, and you want to show your aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff your Christmas presents. But for some reason, my father was like, you got to take half the presents and you got to hide them. And I'm telling you right now, I have a strange feeling that my father was borrowing money from his brothers and borrowing money from my grandmother and I think he was borrowing money from people, because he had a gambling addiction. I think he was borrowing money from people, and I think he didn't want them to know that he could afford Christmas. I really think that they wanted their money back, and in order for him to play this poverty case where I'm broke, he hid the stuff and made it look like our tree was like empty. Like, hey, poor me. So if he needed money later on, or if he owed them money at Christmas time, I think I'm starting to piece it together. I'm not 100% sure. I could be wrong about that. Okay, I could be misjudging, but there was for some reason, and I tell my mother not to watch these things, but she probably does. But for some reason, he would have us hide half of our Christmas stuff, usually behind the bedroom door, before our relatives would come and visit. So only my family can comment below why that was. I do not know. To this day, I still don't know. But these are my assumptions. My father did have a gambling problem. My father did borrow money from everybody, from his brothers to his mother to people that own variety stores. He borrowed money from everybody. So I have a strange feeling that my father didn't want people to know that he could afford things. So he was hiding things so he wouldn't have to pay people back. Okay, I know that he didn't like to pay people back, because he took him forever to pay his loan service back and all other stuff. So I know he didn't like to pay people back. But this is my assumption. But it was very strange. Very strange. And but my mother's big on like, you may have had a crappy childhood, but you always had a great Christmas. We had a confusing Christmas. Okay, it was very, very confusing. As an adult, I'm still confused, and as an adult, I still don't have the answers. I have no idea. I have no idea why we had to hide half our presents behind behind my bedroom door. And I don't know why we weren't allowed to take, like, you get that one present. It's like you got to go visit your relatives, right? and you want to take one present with you as a kid. Okay, try to think back to those days. You got like, let's say you got that one GI Joe, or you got that one something or whatever, and you're like, you really don't want to leave the house at all on Christmas Day because you want to enjoy your presents, but you got to leave the house because you got to go visit and you got to give presents to your cousins and stuff. And my father had like 6 brothers and 2 sisters, so I have a whole bunch of cousins. So my father would always want to go visit them. And he'd always put on a big show. My father was a showman, all about the show. Listen, whoever the hell that man was around his family was not the man that was living in the house, okay? It's this guy, it was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, okay? When he was living with us, he was like, oh, wackadoo. And then when he hung around with them, he was like the comedy relief or whatever. Like, everybody thought he was the greatest, funniest person in the world, but behind closed doors, he was a maniac, okay? And it was just crazy because it was like, this is what we had to deal with every year. And then every Christmas Eve, we would go to my uncle's house for a Christmas Eve party. And as a kid, I don't know if you remember this either. You used to go to parties as a kid on Christmas Eve, you'd be like, I want to go home. Santa's coming. I want to go home. Santa's coming. I remember one year we were at there and Gladiator just came out on whatever. The Gladiator is like a 3-hour long movie. For some reason, they insisted on making us sit there. This is Christmas Eve. Okay, everybody's drinking. It's regular Portuguese party. Everybody drinking. There's pop suck going all over the place. Everybody, chorizo and peppers everywhere. If you guys don't live around here, don't know what chorizo and peppers are. It's a delicacy in the world over here where I live. The deal is that, like, this was a big thing for every Christmas Eve, and everybody be drinking and eating, and then my father wouldn't want to leave. And then I remember one year Gladiator came out, and my cousins were all watching it, my uncles all watching it. That's like a 3-hour movie. I'm like, listen, Santa's coming. And then every once in a while they would have like that news broadcast where like, Santa's now in this town, or Santa's flying over this right now. And as a kid, you're like, holy crap, like, dude, if we don't get us home quick, Santa ain't gonna deliver the presents because I ain't home sleeping. But adults don't care. They don't care because if they're having a good time, they ain't leaving. So anyway, yeah. So I went on to I told you a little bit about my Christmas as a kid. Yeah. If any of my, I don't know. See, the thing is, you guys all use like handles, and like alternate people names or whatever. So I don't know who's family and not family that watch my channel. But you can maybe anonymously comment below, why the hell did we have to hide our Christmas presents every Christmas so my aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff could not know that we actually had Christmas presents? This is a question I have to this day. I've never asked my mother. I've never asked my mother this question. And I don't talk that much to my mother, so I'm not really gonna hit her up and be like, hey, what's the meaning behind this or whatever. I mean, at like almost age 50, I'm now contemplating on why this was a thing. This was a ritual every year. And I promise you, it's like, we did have stuff under the tree. I'm not going to deny her saying that we did have a lot of stuff under the tree. Was it all name brand stuff? No, it wasn't. Because it was off brand stuff, but we did have some good things in there. But why we had to hide it behind our bedroom door so we had to look like we had nothing? Confusing. Anyway. And then I'm gonna leave the last one for the Christmas Day one. This is my pile of. So we have Scrooged, but then we also have Scrooge with Albert Finney. Then I have A Christmas Carol starring Frederick March and Basil Rathbone, which is the original Sherlock Holmes. And then I have A Christmas Carol starring, who's starring in this one? Reginald Owen. I think that's the one there. And then I have this one with the Alistair Starr, and this one also is Alistair Starr. This is the same one, but the deal is that this one right here is like the super deluxe version, and it comes in color and black and white, and it's been digitally mastered, where this is like the OG one. So I usually go to this one every year, so I can watch it in color. This is another one that has those weird vibrant colors that is fun. And then these other black and white ones are just great. This one right here was great, and the one with Basil Rathbone is great. And I'm not going to talk too much about Scrooge went flying. Scrooge is a Christmas Carol. Okay, it's the story that I'm about to tell you if you don't know what it's about. And listen, whether you watch any one of these, I recommend you watch them with your kids, only so that way. When you get mad at them, you can say, I hope you get visited by 3 ghosts. Okay? For years, whenever any person that ever is like a scumbag to me, whether it be a parent, a kid, a boss, or whatever, I always go, I hope you're visited by 3 ghosts, so that you could open your eyes and realize what a scumbag you are. Okay? these these are the moral movies. Now I'm gonna hold up this one because this is my go-to. This is the one that I sneak away every Christmas Eve and I watch by myself. I don't think I've ever sat down and actually watched this in its entirety with my children. This one is I go in my room, I shut the door, no heat in this room, so it's cold, cold, cold. I cover myself up like Scrooge, and I put myself in the character of Scrooge. No joke. And this Albert Finney one is a musical, okay? And Albert Finney, if you don't know, is Daddy Warbucks also from Annie, and he plays the best Scrooge that I've ever seen. And if you don't know the story of Scrooge, listen, Ebenezer Scrooge is a money hungry scumbag. Okay, he listen, he wouldn't give you a dime if you were dying in an alleyway. Okay, he reminds me so much of some of the people I've worked for, and so many people I've encountered in my life, and so many people are just stingy and selfish, and I mean, like, there's been times where I would literally give you the shirt off my back. I give you the last dime in my pocket. I've had family message me. I've had people that I don't know. Listen, Christmas time came. I was one year when I was like dead broke, and I was buying gift cards for people that I worked with because the boss wasn't giving gift cards. In fact, the boss was giving gift cards to give to us by people, and they were stealing them. So I was like, wow, So I actually ended up going out and bought gift cards to give to my fellow people that I worked with, my staff, the other staff members that I worked with, because I felt like that was wrong. Like, so and I don't have a lot of money, so I mean, they were small gift cards. It would be like $5 gift cards to Dunkin' Donuts or $10 gift cards to Dunkin' Donuts. One year I got them all scratch tickets and put them all in the thing, and I also gave them like a $20 bill or whatever, and the scratch tickets, because you never know if you're gonna win with those scratch tickets. At least they'd at least have $20 so they can give to their kids, or they can go get a gift, or they can go do something like that. But it was like these little simple gestures where a guy like Ebenezer Scrooge is like the bulk of the people that own like these big companies nowadays, or maybe your boss, or maybe somebody that you work for who's just a scumbag. I mean, like this guy, he had everything. He had so much, and he would do nothing for it. He wouldn't give anything to the poor. He wouldn't give anything to help his staff. His staff wanted a lump of coal so he could be a little bit warmer. The ink literally was freezing for him to dip his quill in so he can do the books and everything like that. And yet this guy still wouldn't let him put on any more coal on the fire because he was so stingy and greedy. And I have met so many pieces of garbage like that in my life. But thankfully, in this movie, and this is why it's very important that you watch this movie. It's not only you watch this movie, make your kids watch this movie, because we don't want a generation of these people, these no good, rotten, lying, scumbag people. Listen, I nothing I hate more. I'm gonna tell you something right now. Nothing I hate more. Okay, nothing I hate more than people that tell you all that they're amazing, how amazing they are, and the things that I gave to charity, and I sponsored a family, and I gave this, and I gave that, and I gave this, and I did that, and I did this, and they all have this closeness to God. Oh my good, never been to church in their life. Okay, maybe when they were kids, when they were forced to go do so, they don't go on Christmas Eve, they don't go in general, but it's always God this and God that, God this and God that. Listen, I think we forget also that Christmas is also the day that we're supposed to celebrate the birth of Jesus. That's like was the reason, I think, behind Christmas. The whole thing wasn't about the toys, it wasn't about the stuff. So even if you don't believe in that, at least believe that this is the one day where you're supposed to have like a heart of giving. Like, you're supposed to feel good to be giving to people. You're supposed to feel good to be able to show love to your fellow brother and sister. If you haven't done it all year long, and I'm not talking about your like brother and sister like that came from your mom and dad. I'm talking like your next door neighbor. Drop a card in your next door neighbor's mailbox saying, "Hey, listen, thank you just for being a good neighbor. Thank you for not parking in my spot all year. Thank you for just being nice this year." You know what I mean? Simple little things mean big things to people. I used to work for a boss that used to tell me, like, I'm like, why don't you ever tell the staff that they're doing a good job? And the response was, that's why I pay them. But I'll tell you right now, words sometimes mean more than money. It ain't all about the money, you people. Okay, now listen, look at me. It's not all about the money. Okay, we need money to live. We need money to survive. But if money is your answer to every damn thing, listen, I had a boss that at Christmas time, if you did not participate in their reindeer games, you got your Christmas bonus by how they felt about you. That is Ebenezer. Listen, if you got a staff member that has a big family and they're struggling, and you give them $50, and then you have this kiss butt that's been like living at your home and taking care of you and doing this and doing that, and you give them $250 or $500, and meanwhile the other person that has a newborn baby or has like and all you gave was $50, how do you live with yourself? Why is that even a thing? I've worked at other places where like they just gave you a set bonus for Christmas. Here's your Christmas bonus. And then I've worked at places that gave you no Christmas bonus. Like I worked at a place where it was like, we're giving you a Christmas breakfast. That's what you're getting. And then there was no bonus, no prize, no nothing. There was nothing going on over. You got nothing. All you got was you got the Christmas. But I guess we should have been thankful for that. I should have been thankful that we got the Christmas breakfast. Okay, but then I went to another job where it was like guaranteed $500 every year, and everybody got it. And I went to another place where it was like, I give you whatever I feel like giving you by how much you do for me. That's some Ebenezer Scrooge stuff right there. It's like, what can I suck from you? And if I can't suck enough from you, you ain't getting it. You ain't getting something in return. Whoa, man. Listen, you're gonna be visited by 3 ghosts, okay? So that's the whole deal, is that this guy's such a scumbag that the ghost of Christmas past shows him his past and all of the screwed up things he did in the past. And then the ghost of Christmas present is showing him how he's screwing up right now. Like, look what you did to this family. Let me go show you your staff members and what this poor bug is going through. Look what you did to this poor bastard and the rest of his family. Look, they can't even afford, they're putting the stuffing on the outside of the turkey because they don't know whether or not they can stuff the turkey, or they should put the turkey in the stuffing because they don't even have enough, they don't even have a big enough turkey to cook for their family. And they got a big family. What a scumbag you are. Oh my God. Listen, I watch this every year to humble myself, to be like, holy crap. Listen, I don't care if you got all the money in the world. You can't take that crap with you. You cannot take it with you. So do something. I mean, listen, if you're living on a budget and you're like struggling, you're just like, you're living paycheck by paycheck and you're just doing what you got to do, I understand. But if you are a very well-off person, you have more reasons to be thankful for Christmas. You have more reasons to be like, listen, I need to give back this year so I can be blessed again next year. Because if not, something's gonna happen. You are going to be visited by 3 ghosts, and it may not be in a physical form, but the crap's gonna hit the fan. You might lose your company. You might lose your place, your home. You might lose your car. You might lose, something might go wrong. One of your children might get hurt. Something might happen to you. Listen, there's repercussions for your actions, okay? And if you are a mean, rotten human being, there's no way that you're gonna be blessed for your entire life. You're going to have problems. One of your kids is gonna become a drug addict. You're gonna have some kind of issue with something. You're gonna be sad one of these days. Your husband's gonna take off on you. Your wife's gonna take off on you. Something's gonna go wrong. You can't be like that. And this is why this movie is so important to me, because it humbles me every single year. And I've been watching it every single year because it's like, yes, it goes past and shows him how he screwed up in the past, shows him present, shows him what he's doing right now and what he's doing to other people, and how his greed is affecting the lives of people, that good people. And he can make a difference in these people's lives. The little boy, Tiny Tim, in this thing, he's dying, okay? And Scrooge has all the money in the world to get this kid to go to the hospital and get him fixed up and get him walking again. And get him, he could be helping somebody, but he just counting that money and putting it in the safe, counting that money and putting it in the safe. And that's how people, listen, it's sad, but that's how some people live right now. That's how some people lived before. That's how some people are going to be living in the future. And it's probably because they never watched this damn movie. Watch the movie. If you even think, the problem is most of the people that like this are narcissists, so they're not going to watch the movie. They're going to be like, he ain't talking about me. He ain't talking about, I give. Every year I give to charity. And I do toys for tots, and when I go through like the line at the Dollar Tree and they're like, do you want to give me $1 for a toy for a kid? I give them $1. Okay, yeah, but you got like $5 billion in the bank, okay? So your dollar, 10 cents, 50 cents, $1 here ain't breaking you. You're not sacrificing anything at Christmas time. You're just doing whatever. And the other thing is, you're not being humble about it either. You're telling everybody that you're doing it. You're showing everybody you're doing it. You don't just do it and be like, I just bought all these toys for these kids. Okay, I just helped out this family over here. I just helped this family out over there. Not gonna say nothing about it. No, you post it. You post it on Facebook. You post it on Instagram. You post it on everything. Look what I did. Look what I did. That's pride. It's sin. It's sin. It's pride. Okay, it's pride. Okay, you're not doing it for a good reason. You're doing it for a show. You put on a show, and that's the whole deal. Is that so? What happens with Scrooge here? is then they show him what happens in the future. And I swear that's his future in this movie scares the hell out of me, because I never want my future to be like this guy's future. If he didn't change at the end of the movie, he sees it, he's visited by the three ghosts, he realizes he did wrong, and he turns everything around. Okay, because literally one of the ghosts shows him that every year that he does whatever he does and every bad thing he does, he's putting another link on a chain that's going to be strapped around him, and it's going to be piled up and piled up and piled up, and then they show him hell, because they literally in this movie they show him going to hell, and in hell he's going to be wrapped in these chains that he's going to have to lug and carry around for eternity because of all of the scumbaggish things he's done his entire life. And to me, I'm like, damn, I don't want that to ever be me. And then I'll tell you right now, so when they go into the future, they show the townsfolk, okay, and he's standing there, and they can't see him. If you've never seen the Scrooge movie, when the ghosts are taking him from town to town, from the past to the future to the present, nobody can see him, okay? So he's seeing what's going on, but they can't see him. And he doesn't catch on that they're celebrating his death. They're literally dancing on his casket and dancing on his grave and celebrating that he is finally dead because he was such an evil, rotten, no good person. And I have met people like this. There are some people that I would like to dance on their grave. God forgive me. But I'm telling you right now, there are some people that when they drop dead, I feel like saying, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And that's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me.
Yeah, that's the song that they sing, dancing on this guy's casket, because he was such a evil scumbag that did nothing to help anybody until he is visited by the three ghosts. And after he is visited by the three ghosts, he sees the error of his ways. And he begs and pleads to these ghosts. He's like, do I have time to make the change? He's already older. He's like probably in the 70s or whatever. He's like, do I have time to change? Please tell me I have time. And thankfully, he turns it all around. He starts to give back, and he helps out little Tiny Tim in the family. And it's my favorite Christmas movie. Hands down. This one right here. This one particularly. This version of Scrooge, they call it Scrooge. This Albert Finney is my favorite Christmas movie. This is the one that makes sense. This is the movie. This is the one that makes you realize that it ain't all about just that one day. It's how you act every day. Okay, you can't be just like jolly and happy and do good things for people just that one day. You're supposed to be all year round a good person. And that's what this movie tells you. It tells you that, listen, this is what's going to happen to you if you don't make a change. Listen, the past is in the past. You've already screwed that up. Okay, and here's the present. This is where you're at right now. Make a change right now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till next week. Don't wait till next year. Change now, because if you don't change now, this is your future. People dancing on your grave and being thankful that you're dead. I'm telling you right now, there are people right now that when they drop dead, I am going to be thankful. And I know that that's a sin. I know that that's a bad thing for me to say. But I bet you have people in your life too, or people in your past, or people that you've had to encounter in your life that you're like, they were just real evil people. They were just really, they were, it could be family. It could be friends. It could be whatever, an ex-employee, ex-employer. It could be an ex-partner or a staff member, or it could be whoever. But these people are just not good to you, a bully or whatever, somebody. They were just no good. And I don't know about you. Sometimes I find myself, especially I used to work in the mill. I'll find myself sometimes on a Sunday morning. It's ironic that's on a Sunday morning when that's supposed to be the Lord's day. I'm supposed to be like worshiping and doing this, that, and the other thing. I'll be looking at the obituaries. I'm like, did this guy die yet? Because he was an evil son of a gun, and I'm pretty sure that where he went is not going to be a good place. I mean, I'm not trying to get all like religious on you guys, but I do believe that I don't think you're going to be treated well if you were just a piece of garbage your entire life. And I'll tell you right now, the only person, look at me, the only person you're fooling is yourself. Okay? Just remember that. If you really think that people don't notice, if you really think that people don't see you for who you really are, you're lying to yourself. They know, okay? People know. People talk. You might think you are walking on water. You might think that you are holier than thou and you are the most powerful person in the world. Meanwhile, people hate you.
Simply have to say thank you very, very, very much.
Make a change before it's too late. Scrooge. Watch it, Christmas time. I don't know if that one's streaming anywhere, but the Albert Finney one, I'm telling you right now, it's a musical. And there is one part where he's, because it shows how he messed up with his girlfriend. That he was going to marry her, but because of greed and because of money or whatever, he decided to take the money over the girlfriend. And she sings a song to him. And that's the only part that kind of drags down the movie a little bit, because the song is very long and slow, and it kind of drags out a little bit. But besides that, the rest of the movie is great, and it's a thinker. Because I'll tell you right now, if you feel any certain way after if anything, that movie should humble you. At the end, you should be looking at it and really evaluate yourself and be like, "Whoa, how have I been this year? Have I been giving? Have I been nice? Have I been good to my fellow brothers and sisters? Did I talk good to this person? Was I nice to my wife? Was I nice to my kids? How are my kids making out? Are they doing it? Are they making mistakes? What you need, listen, it really makes you evaluate your life. And I'll tell you, some narcissistic people, they ain't gonna get it. They're gonna be like, nope, I've given and I've done this and I've done that, and I. The problem is you keep saying I. If it's always I, it should be more about we, like we the people, like us. It should be about everybody. It shouldn't be about yourself. Not everything the world does not revolve around you. If you think the world revolves around you, you're on the wrong path. Okay? If you really think that the sun does not come up until you open your eyes, you might be on the wrong path. If you think that everybody loves you, okay, because you do certain things for people, you're on the wrong path. Okay, because if you're doing for one, listen, I used to do this for my kids. If you do for one, you got to do for all. You don't just do for the ones that you like, and then you don't think that the other ones don't recognize. Not the right way to go. Not the right way to go. And you will be visited by 3 ghosts. And I truly believe in the movie Scrooge. It's not so much it's more like a metaphoric type situation where if you don't change your ways, it's not going to end good. It's not going to end good. You may not be physically visited by 3 ghosts, to tell you about the past, the present, and the future. But if you can't see that you're doing something wrong by now, you might want to make a change. That's all I got to tell you. That was a tough one. That was tough. That one took a lot of time. And if you watched it, I appreciate you. Merry Christmas. Please hit the like, share, subscribe, and here's my QR code if you want to give a Christmas present to a guy that needs it. Okay, that's all I gotta say. I'm giving it a few minutes to break out the phone, because all you have to do is hold up your phone, hit the picture thing, and then that's what you do. But you know what? Even if you don't, Merry Christmas to you. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Merry Christmas to you, because you know what? We all be struggling. Okay, there's a lot of people struggling. Some people are living the dream. Some people are living in a dream. I'll tell you right now, sometimes I'm living the dream too, but it's a nightmare. You know what I mean? You might be living that same very nightmare. You might be living paycheck by paycheck, day by day, worry by worry. And then there's those other people that are just sitting on a boatload of money. They don't know what to do with it. They're buying themselves extra cars, going on extra trips, going on extra this and going on extra that. You know what? And the sad thing is sometimes they don't even work for it. They're just using people and abusing people. They're just collecting. Kind of like Ebenezer Scrooge. He didn't really do anything. All he did is collect the money. He just collected. People ran the businesses, and his other guy was the bookkeeper. His staff was the bookkeepers, and he just collected and counted the money. That was his job, to collect and count people's money. So all these people were working and busting their butts and doing everything for Ebenezer Scrooge to give him the money, because he owned the property and he owned this and he owned that. Meanwhile, he really didn't even have to work. He didn't even have to show up at work if he didn't want to show up to work. Okay, and listen, there's people that live their lives like that. They don't care. They are going to take advantage of you till the day that they die. And when they die, if they go before you, just remember this song. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. Because that's the song that sticks out of my head on this one. I sing it all the time. I sing it in the bathroom a lot, especially around Christmas time. All right, And the last one is the all day long Christmas extravaganza. I play this thing on repeat. If it used to come on regular TV, but because regular TV is not regular TV anymore, now I just put this thing on and I just put it on repeat, and it plays all like Christmas night long until Christmas morning, and then all Christmas Day, and it's A Christmas Story. Some people love it, some people hate it. I happen to love it. You know, this was one of those movies that came out a long time ago. Not too many people caught on right away. And then all of a sudden it became a nostalgic classic. I literally have a leg lamp in my living room, full size, in the crate. Yep. I one year, quick story before I wrap this up because it's my last one. One year I went to go to my wife's uncle's house for Christmas, and he got a leg lamp for Christmas, a full size leg lamp, but it came in cardboard boxes. And every year after that, for like 2, 3 years after that, 4 years, whatever, 5 years, might have been longer because my sometimes my days trickle into other years. Every year we would go to his house, and every year we drive up to the house, and he'd have the leg lamp in his window, kind of like the old man in the Christmas Story. And I wanted that leg lamp so bad. I really wanted one. I was like, man, I'm being a collector that I am. I'm like, I gotta get one. But you know, it's like we didn't have the money. These things are very expensive. Okay, very expensive. And what happened is I waited like 5, 6 years, saved, put a little bit away, saved, put a little bit away. But I was very insistent on wanting it delivered in the crate. I wanted it delivered in the wooden crate, like the old man, with the stuffing inside and the whole have that whole feeling. And there's actually a Christmas Story store, and there's also like the actual Christmas Story house has been turned into almost like a museum, and they actually sell the leg lamps in the crate. So I believe it was like maybe about 4 years ago or 3 years ago, something like that. Might have been, it's probably less than that. A couple of years, maybe about 3 years. Say about 3 years, and maybe he got the leg lamp probably about 10 years ago, because I'm maybe even long. Actually, you know what? It was longer than 10 years ago. It was probably about 17 years ago. So I'm way off. But anyway, so I looked at that lamp for a long time before I was able to afford one. His kids all chipped in and bought him the lamp, so he didn't have to pay for that lamp. He probably wouldn't have paid for it for himself, because he wasn't big on like buying things for himself like that. But hey, finally I got enough money and I ordered the lamp, and I got video footage of the it was either UPS or Federal Express lady delivering it on the hand truck, and she couldn't get it up the stairs, so she literally just left it at the bottom of the stairs. And then it took it was either me and my son or me and my wife to carry it into the house, and then we opened it up. And I got to tell you right now, it's in our living room, in the big fragile wooden. I wasn't gonna get rid of the wooden box, because that's like one of the key elements of the movie. It says fragile because, and then if you go to the other side, it says this end. It's supposed to say this end up, but it says something end up, because this is going around the corner. It's movie accurate. It's in our living room. It stays in our living room year round. The leg lamp is in the box. I've never taken the leg lamp out of the box. It's always been in the box, but the crate is in the middle of our living room. Like, no joke, it's been there for years. And I wanted one so bad. And the pink bunny costume outfit I actually own. I own the pink bunny outfit that Ralphie wears, and I do wear it at Christmas time. When I was teaching preschool, I used to wear it to the preschool and wear it during the Christmas season for the kids. It make for a good joke. Christmas Story, very, very simple. He wants a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas, and they're dangerous. Just shoot your eye out, kid. And with that said, my friends, listen. I do truly want to apologize for a second, because I do think that I got a little dark on the Scrooge. I got a little dark, but I just really wish that people were good to people, because we ain't promised tomorrow, and we're not going to be here for the rest of our lives. We're not. Unfortunately, there's going to be an ending for everybody. So while you're here on this planet, try to be good to people. Try to not think so much about yourselves, and try to think about other people. This channel always has. I mean, this is a channel of movies and toys and music and stuff like that, but it has an underlying. All my videos, if you watch my videos, there's an underlying message, a message of help. Okay, one of the videos I told you before, Mr. Rogers' mother said to Mr. Rogers, You know, whenever there's a problem or whatever, always look for the helpers. You know, if there's a fire, you're gonna find a fireman. If there's a robbery or a car accident, you're gonna find a policeman or you're gonna find an ambulance or whatever. Always look for the helpers. Try to be a helper. You know, try not to be a user. Okay, I nothing I hate more, and hate is a strong word, than people that use people for what they can get from them, and then you don't show them any appreciation, and sometimes the saddest part is that a lot of people know, like I'm an open book, like I'm very transparent, on this channel, so I'm very transparent in reality. This is reality, okay? What you see for what you get with me. So even with like people in general, they know my backstory. They know what I'm going through right now. Everybody knows. So the deal is that if I wasn't me, I would want to do something nice for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not asking for anything. I'm not begging for anything. I'm not trying to burden anybody with any of my problems. But the deal is that if I had more to give, I would give. And sometimes just you're doing a good job, or hey, Merry Christmas, or how are you doing, or a phone call and asking somebody how they're doing, or simple as putting a card in the mailbox. How much does a card cost? 50 cents, $1? I mean, what does it cost for you to go put a card in your neighbor's mailbox just saying, hey, Merry Christmas? I get a card every year from my one of my original bosses at the preschool sends me a card every year, and I look forward to it every year. And she sends it every year, and it's crazy because like I haven't seen her in 14 years. She moved away, but she was my first ever boss from the preschool, and she appreciated me, and I knew she appreciated me. Want to know how I knew? Because she told me every day. She told me all the time. She's like, listen, you're doing a great job. That meant more to me than any dime, any money, any money. Listen, I'll tell you right now, at one point in my preschool teaching life, I would have did it for absolutely nothing because I just felt so good about myself. That person made me feel so good about me. Made me feel like I was important. Made me feel like I was doing something right. When you grow up with a father that tells you that you're no damn good and you're a piece of garbage, you're a piece of trash, you're a piece of this, you're a piece of that, and then you got teachers that tell you you're going to be a failure and you're never going to amount to anything, and you go through all of that stuff, and then if you struggle all your life with people that just talk down to you, you get that one person that comes up to you and says, hey, listen, you did a good job. I'll never forget that. And I'll tell you right now, I will always love that person just for doing that. Because they did for that's the thing, is you don't know people. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know their battle. You don't know what's going on behind the closed doors. You don't know what they and if you do know what they're struggling with and you have the means, help them. If you can afford to help them, help them. You will get it back. Okay, biblically, you get things back tenfold if you help somebody. So, I mean, if you believe in that kind of stuff, help somebody. Do something nice, but don't post it on Facebook. Don't post it on Instagram. Don't post it on your TikTok. Don't post it on your stuff. Say, look what I did. Look what I did. Look what I did. Because then it takes it away. Because then it's about you. It's not about them anymore. Okay, don't do that. It's not a good thing. Teaching preschool a long time. My biggest thing was I wasn't all about the arts and crafts. I was big on teaching children morals, moral value, because the world is a messed up place now. And your children that you're raising right now, if you don't raise them right, they're gonna grow up to be jerks. They're going to grow up to be these people. We need to break the chain. We need to break the chain and start having a better world. If not, I feel bad for the future of my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren and my great-great-grandchildren if we make it that far. If we don't end up with some other idiot that never learned moral value when they were a kid and ends up pressing a button and we're all gone. You know what I mean? That's how bad it's become. Come on, people. A little more love. It's Christmas time. So, with that said, my friends, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. I do. And I'll tell you right now, I do. I appreciate every single one of you. Not because you give me anything, not because I appreciate you because you are a human being. And I also appreciate, listen, if you guys leave comments, which I love your comments and everything like that, and you've been watching this channel for a long time, I pretty much know who you are by your symbols. I might not know who you are if you walked in front of me, but I know by your symbols that you leave comments. I know that they're good comments. I got one guy that I don't hear from him all year long, but then around Christmas time I get like this one, how you doing? I've been watching this for a while, And he goes, I've been busy or whatever, but he watches, but he doesn't comment. But in every Christmas time, I do get a comment. So I'm like, that's great. That's great. It's just it feels good to be recognized for your hard work. It's a good thing. And with that said, my friends, thank you so much for stopping by. Enjoy these Christmas movies. Enjoy them with your families. Okay? Remember, we're not promised tomorrow. Okay? Things happen. People get sick. Stuff goes on. Okay? And God forbid that does, but cherish it. Cherish your families. Cherish the people that are good to you. If they're good to you, treat them good. Treat people the way you would want to be treated. Remember that. Because one day you could end up being that person. And I will see you later.
You should have saved me some.